be competitive. And if you do that, you know, and you have talent, you'll probably get some work. Good luck to you.
You've done a lot of different characters.
Holy crap!
Sorry.
Good Lord. I expected this young, sweet lady's girly voice to come out.
I didn't mean to surprise you.
Oh my God. Good God, y'all. The governor of Massachusetts, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming by, Your Honor. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So you've done a lot of different characters, but do you have a favorite character type that you like? You've done a lot of comedy, a lot of serious roles, a good mix. Do you have a favorite type of character?
I love it all. I've been really fortunate. I get to play a lot of different stuff, and I have a knack for comedy, and I really enjoy comedy, but I love doing serious stuff, and I love doing tough guy stuff. So I'm probably too versatile. You know, sometimes you're better off you can just do one thing, you know, because then they can pigeonhole you and you do that all the time. But I'm very versatile and I like to do a lot of different stuff. So I guess on one hand, I'm very fortunate in that I can do all kinds of different things. And I get typed like the Bato, the tough guy, the big guy. I get typecast in a lot of that kind of stuff. And I use, you know, that kind of straight, almost my normal voice a lot of times on those kind of characters. But, you know, the fun for me is when I can do something that's completely different, and when people hear it, they don't even know it's me. You know, that's kind of cool for me. You know, when I got cast as the Joker, there was a lot of voice actors who were grumbling, and they just couldn't imagine me doing the voice of the Joker. They just thought, that's impossible. You know, that's why I can't believe he got cast. You know, and then they heard it, and they said, oh my God, it doesn't sound anything like him. So, and I love playing those kind of parts because like I say, the great thing about voice acting is that you can be any character that you can imagine vocally. Whereas when you're on camera or on stage, you're basically kind of relegated to the way you appear. So it's kind of nice. You can be actually more of an actor in many ways when you're a voice actor. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I played a lot of black guys too. That's true. Yeah. Oh.
Hi. I wanted to know what your favorite part of working on the Ghost in the Shell TV series was.
My favorite part? Well, you know, I just think some of the episodes were really, really cool, and the writing was really good, and it's a really good show. I wish to God they would make more of them. I hope they do. I mean, I keep hearing these weird rumors that they're going to make more of them, and then I hear they're going to make more of them with different characters, and I hope that doesn't happen, but who knows. But it was a fun, the whole thing was a fun experience. But like I say, it's more fun when I direct myself, because then I get along better with me as a director, because I know what I want, and it's fun that way. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess he's calling.
Could you say something about food and women in Dong Zhuo's voice?
Saying about what?
Could you say something about food and women in Dong Zhuo's voice?
Dong Zhuo. I love food and women. Yeah. I love to eat both. Dong Zhuo, for those of you who don't know, he's this big giant, looks like Orson Welles, and he loves women, liquor, and power. I guess he's like a typical politician, but he's a lot of fun to play because he's just so full of himself, and he just has a ball, and he basically just wants to take over everywhere. So he's a very fun character. I've done him on 6 or 7 games now. It's crazy. He keeps coming back.
And a lot of your roles for many specific series, not only do you do it like a lot loud growling noises and stuff, but for things like Ghost in the Shell, which is a very talky series, you're also you're using your voice a lot in quantities and quality. What are some things that you do in the booth to keep your voice in top shape from all this?
Well, that's a very good question. Actually, something like Ghost in the Shell is not that taxing on my voice at all. It's actually okay. There are like games. I'm trying to think of which one. I shouldn't say the title of this because it hasn't been out yet. But there's one game I've been working on, and it's basically screaming for 4 hours straight. And the last time I went on the session, He was supposed to have me for 4 hours. He had me for 6 hours, literally screaming straight for 6 hours. And at the end of the 6 hours, he goes, I saved the best loops for last. There's 10 loops of you being burned alive by a flamethrower. I said, you need 10 of these? He goes, yeah, 10 of these being burned alive by it. And go. And then after I did that, he goes, oh, wait a minute, I found a role for you. And he goes, oh, it's just a few lines. And it was like 40 lines, like paragraphs. And by that time, I'd blown my pipes out. So, I was like, hey, yeah, I sound like, Pops Nouveau. But the best advice I can give anybody who wants to kind of keep their voice in shape is before you go in for an audition or for a job, I always warm my voice up, always warm it up. And especially if it's early in the morning. If it's early in the morning or on the way to the studio, sometimes we have jobs and we have to be there. When we were doing Samurai X, we recorded at 7 in the morning. So, at 7 in the morning, I sound like... That's pretty much the way I sound at 7 in the morning. So, you have to warm your voice up and get ready and loosen everything up and get everything ready to go. And then, after a screaming fest like that, you go home and you gargle with warm salt water at night. And then when you wake up in the morning again, and it really... it heals your voice and your throat. And that's a great recommendation for anyone who's ever lost their voice and needs their voice, or a singer, because that just helps so much. And they do make sprays and stuff that people use. I haven't really used any of that stuff, although I may look into it now. Because there's just so much, in these games now, especially in these combat games, there's so much screaming going on, because you're yelling over the tanks firing and the gun shooting, so everything is just really loud and screaming, and has to sound like you're on the battlefield, so you're just screaming your butt off for hours and hours, And not everybody can do that, and it's very, very tough, so. Yes?
Okay, from all the parts you did, is there any character that you kind of describe yourself to that you played?
You mean, am I like any of the characters?
Most likely, yes.
I could say something funny. I won't. I'm probably closest to. I'm probably very close to Jigen in his sense of humor, and his way his dry sense of humor. I kind of like that about him, and I also I'm kind of close to Bato in that he seems tough on the outside, but he's a big mush ball inside, so that's kind of me, I think this thing needs an audience. Somebody made it.
Hi. So I heard a while back that Steven Spielberg got the right for a Ghost in the Shell movie or something. Besides yourself, who do you think would be an awesome live-action Bato? Because you would be the best, obviously.
Oh, it'd have to be me. I'd kill anybody else. So, well, I think I think Arnold in his prime would have been great, but he's old and out of shape at this point. So, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of good big beefy guys, but I think what I heard was in the live action they're going to do CGI. So I don't know. That's would be kind of weird. But I hope I can get in there to audition. That's all I ask. And they're doing a live action Ghost in the Shell. They're doing a live action Lupin the Third, and they're doing something else live action. I just found out about. So hopefully they won't cock it up like Speed Racer, because that was just I don't know what the hell they were smoking when they made that movie. Yes. Keep an eye out for me, will you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for the drum roll.
So what would be your ideal character, ideal role type, I guess?
My ideal character?
If you create a character, personality, name, what would it be?
The one that pays the best.
As you want to play, now.
She's not here. I don't know. I've been really, really fortunate in the roles that I've been given and that I auditioned for, and like I said, I've been very fortunate. I love them, and it seems like it's getting better and better all the time. I'm doing more and more AAA games, which I'm really happy about. I'm even starting to do some mocap stuff, which is motion capture stuff, which is really fun. And you really feel like you're acting because you're in the mocap suit, you're, you know, on the set doing all that stuff. So it's fun. I can't, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm kind of in the ballpark of what I do. If I could do anything, be any character, I probably would want to play James Bond. And if I could do anything vocally, I don't know. I would like to do maybe Batman, something like that. I think that would be fun. Yeah. I would do Batman and the Joker in the same show.
Hi. What's your do you have a favorite line that you did as Bato from the Ghost in the Shell series?
You stupid dickhead, you don't even remember your own name.
So wasn't that the one that they played in opening ceremonies? They actually did, but they cut out the dickhead part, which I was very disappointed in.
With the diversity of the emotions you've displayed in your characters over the years, when you played a character like Ansem from Kingdom Hearts, who was very monotone and kind of cold-hearted, no emotions really, was that difficult for you at all, or did you just do it?
It wasn't difficult. I will tell you a very funny story about that. I'm glad you brought that up. This is, we have any Kingdom Hearts fans here today? Oh, well, I got a lot of them. Okay, well, as you probably all know, in the original Kingdom Hearts, Billy Zane played Ansem in the first one. And then, for whatever reason, was not available for the second one, and I don't know what the deal is. To this day, I don't know why they replaced him or what happened. But the reason I got the part was because the guy who does Ansem in Japan does the voice of Bato. And the Japanese producers said, who plays Bato in America? And they said, Richard Epcar. They said, okay, we want him to play Ansem. And that's how I got the part. That's a true story. So the first day I went in to record, there was 6 producers from Disney, 6 producers from Japan, and I would do a line of dialogue, and the engineer would come on the talkback and go, just a minute, and they would talk amongst themselves for about 5-10 minutes. They'd come back and say, can you do that a little slower? And I would do the line a little slower, and they'd go, just a minute, and they would talk about that for about 5-10 minutes, and they'd come back and go, can you do that a little faster? And I would do that, and this went on all day, and finally I pulled the engineer aside at a break. I said, what did Christopher Lee do when they did that to him? He said they did it to him once, and then he said, all right, I'm going to tell you how we're going to do this. I'm going to read this script from the top to the bottom, and then I'm going home. And that's exactly what he did, and I thought, how cool is that? I wanted to do that, but I couldn't do it because it was my first time. Now I've done about 5 or 6 of them, so. But I just want you guys to know, as the fans, when I went in the first time, I didn't know the game, I had never heard it, and I did the part the way they directed me to do it, so I kind of had to do it that way. And I know some of the fans were not happy about it. As we went on, I made him a lot more ferocious, a lot more evil, and hopefully people like it a lot better now. But, you know, like I say, when you're in that booth, you're pretty much at the director's whim, you know, and you have to do what they want you to do. And unfortunately, I got the heat for that, so. But that's the way it goes, you know. But it wasn't hard. I mean, you know, I can play any kind of emotion or whatever is needed in there, and that's what you do. And the whole thing about this is you just have to be willing to jump in and do it and just be that character, whatever's happening. Whatever happens, you just have to believe it, jump in it, and make it happen and speak the truth. And that's really what acting is. That's what it all boils down to. Where's